All right, guys, we are back again for yet another Unboxing Plus review, this time taking a look at the Terra Incognita from Allay watches. Allay is a German micro brand. The Terra Incognita is their second watch that they're putting out, and this is a 36mm kind of field watch slash casual watch. It has a sapphire crystal, a screw down crown, and 100 meters of water resistance. In this video, I'm going to unbox the watch and give you guys my first impressions. Okay, well, it's not a bad looking watch, and that 36mm size is definitely something you don't see every day. I'll put it through its paces for a few days and test it out and see how it wears on the wrist. And I'll come back at the end and give you guys my conclusions on the watch. Okay, so I've had some time to spend with the Terra Incognita from Allay watches, and it's a good watch. The 36mm case, sapphire crystal, screw down crown, minimalist design, excellent idea for a watch. We need more watches like that. It's just the price. Now, Allay did contact me a little while ago and asked me if I wanted to review their watch. They offered to send me a free watch to keep after the review is done. However, other than the watch itself, I did not receive any compensation from Allay, nor did they have any input into the content of this review. And interesting thing about that, I initially told them I couldn't review their watch. I was really busy at the time. I didn't really have time to take on another review. And even more than that, I was a little bit concerned about the price of this watch. They're asking 240 euros for this watch, which translates into about $280 USD. And even though the specs and design seemed pretty solid, that seemed like a little bit on the high side for what they were asking. However, they seemed really intent to have me review the watch. And even after mentioning this, I said, well, you know, if you want to send it in, maybe having the watch in person will change my mind. And that's kind of what I'm curious about, to see if after getting this watch open and unboxing it, if it will change my mind, if I will feel that it is justified at this price, or if I still think it's overpriced at the end of it. But let's go ahead and open this up and see if it can change my mind. All right, so this is a very kind of simple, minimalist look, a very classic look actually, and you know, that 36mm size with the 100 meters of water resistance, that is some unique features that they have going on for it. Let's go ahead and peel off these stickers on this. So I think what Allay is kind of going for here is, you know, really one of these watches that can handle anything. You know, with a design this simple and minimal, it can easily, you know, function as a dress watch, especially at this size. But they are packing 100 meters of water resistance, a sapphire crystal, and if I read correctly, also a screw down crown. Yeah. So you are also getting a screw down crown. All of which are features that you don't often see in these kind of minimalist style watches, and especially in a 36mm package. I will say that this crown size feels very small for my kind of large hands, but you know, it's a quartz watch, so you probably aren't going to be needing to set the time very often. You know, set it the first time, and then every 6 months when daylight savings time comes around, you can set it again. Case back is fairly simple, screwed on case back though, so again, helping with that 100 meters of water resistance. Yeah, I think specs and design wise, there's not really much to complain about the actual watch. It feels pretty sturdily built, and this is the kind of watch that, you know, I'm always looking for. I always like a good watch with a lot of water resistance that's got a lot of versatility. I think this has all that. Let's go ahead and get the dimensions out of the way and see exactly what we got here. So yeah, right on 36mm for the case diameter. And you're getting 18mm lugs on the strap, which, you know, for a 36mm watch, that's about what you would expect. I don't have a lot of 18mm straps, but they are fairly easy to come by. If you're looking for a smaller watch, you know, you might have more 18mm straps than I do. And this is exactly 10mm thick. Now, they probably could have made it a little bit thinner, this being a quartz watch, but you know, if you're wanting to give it that 100 meters of water resistance and you want something a little bit more rugged, it's probably not bad to make the case 10mm thick like this. Finishing is also nicely done. You know, you're getting some vertical brushing on the sides of the case, polishing on the bezel and on the top of the lugs, so you get some alternating finishes there. Gives you a nice look. You know, the case is very simple, fairly flat on the sides, but again, you know, pretty good everyday design. So getting a little bit closer on the dial here, you can see what we've got going on. It's kind of this is, I think they called this one the ivory. It's sort of a champagne color dial. Very nice color on the dial. It's got a sunburst effect. The text and the logo, I think, are all very tastefully done. Simple kind of pencil style hands and applied baton markers You are getting loomed hands and then little loom pips at the top of those markers. Those little squares above each marker is a small loom pip. So there is going to be some after dark functionality, another feature that I often look for in these kinds of everyday watches. I do kind of wish it had a date, but this sort of clean display without that is something that I think a lot of people are going to be drawn to. The strap is a Cordura strap. Feels pretty stiff, and that's fairly common for Cordura straps. They usually take some time to break in. So you're going to get some nice water resistance. This should be perfectly fine for all water sports. And having the security of that screw down crown to enhance that even more, I think is a nice way to go. I don't normally wear 36 millimeter watches. It's kind of on the smaller side, but let's see how it looks on my wrist. Okay, so here it is on my 7.5-inch wrist. And again, 36 millimeter is not the size I typically go for. And the strap is almost too small for me. I've still got one more hole I could go on. Maybe loosen up a little bit, but if you have much larger than a 7.5-inch wrist, this may not be working well for you. But 36 millimeter, it's a very classic size. This used to be a normal size, even for guys with my wrist size. And I'm kind of getting used to smaller watches. To me, it doesn't look that bad. I think I could get away with this. And because the design is so simple and minimal, it is very versatile, and yeah, could wear it with almost anything. The strap does feel very stiff, so it feels like it is going to take some time to break that in. But let's go ahead and test the loom real quick, and then I'll take it out and see how this actually wears. All right, let's go ahead and hit this with the black light and see what we got. It's actually a pretty strong glow for a little kind of minimalist watch like this. You see those pips are very small, so I don't anticipate that they would last too long. But at least initially, like if you're walking from a bright place to a dark place, they're going to give you a good strong readout for a few minutes. The hands are holding on a lot better. They seem to be decently loomed there. Anyways, let's go ahead and take this watch out for a couple days, wear it, and see how it wears. All right, so despite this watch really looking like a dress watch in a lot of ways, they have it billed as a watch that can kind of go anywhere, do anything, and it's, kitted out for being able to take it on a hike and something. I actually did that recently. I was on an 8-kilometer hike, and I decided to take the Terra Incognita with me, and it performed really well. The strap was pretty comfortable, but I think the biggest thing is just that size. That small 36 millimeter diameter watch, that thinness, it's really unobtrusive and gets out of the way, and it has kind of enough of a toughness to it to be able to handle that. You got a sapphire crystal, you got 100 meters of water resistance, screw down crown, so I wasn't really worried about the watch getting damaged or broken. And overall, yeah, it performs great if you want to take it hiking or something like that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the band on this thing. So I initially thought that the backing was leather on this, but according to Allay, it is not. It's a synthetic material. And I think I'm okay with that. So actually, by not using leather and by using kind of a synthetic leather substitute here, what they've done is they've created a strap that actually is going to be waterproof. Anyways, let's soak it and see how it goes. So theoretically, what you've got now is a watch with 100 meters of water resistance, a screw down crown, and a waterproof band that you could take swimming. At least that's the theory. So you've got a Cordura upper, a synthetic leather lower. Yeah, that's not really going to get ruined in the water like leather is. I think that makes this a great strap to package with this watch. It's kind of a hybrid strap. It has some water resistance built into it, but it's got a little bit more of a refined look than like a rubber or a NATO strap would. However, I have heard that with Cordura, if you get it wet a lot, it can start to develop an odor. Yeah, and so because of that, I would primarily look at this strap as more of a strap for occasional use in the water. It's great for if you're taking it on a hike and you need to go swimming or something, if you're crossing a stream or have a chance to go swimming, yeah, sure, go ahead and take it in the water every once in a while. But if you are going to be using this as like a swimming watch where you're going to the pool all the time wearing it, you probably want to get a dedicated waterproof strap, like something rubber or metal, something like that, that's going to be more geared towards standing up to, water on an everyday basis. Okay, so I've had some time to spend with the Terra Incognita from Allay watches, and it's a good watch. The 36 millimeter case, sapphire crystal, screw down crown, minimalist design. Excellent idea for a watch. We need more watches like that. It's just the price. 240 euros, I think that's about what you would pay for like a retail version of a major brand watch that has these specifications. In fact, I recently picked up a watch from Tissot that I'm getting ready to review. It's a discontinued model, but it's a 40 millimeter quartz watch, 100 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, and I was able to get that one on the gray market for around $140. If you're talking comparable micro brands, I know Vaer is getting ready to send in another watch that I'll be reviewing in the future that is also 36 millimeters, screw down crown, 100 meters of water resistance, and I believe theirs is coming in at under $200 for the base model. So there's some stiff competition out there. Now, maybe if this watch was manufactured in Germany, where Allay is based, that might help to justify this higher cost. However, this watch was actually manufactured in Asia. I believe they said it was manufactured in Hong Kong. So they were able to save some costs on that. And again, I would have hoped to see those costs brought lower for people looking to buy it. Now, Allay did offer to give a 20% discount to people who are watching this video. So big thanks to them for that. And I do think that helps to bring it into a more reasonable price range. I think with that, you're getting down to around $230 or so. Again, it is a good watch, and there's not nearly enough 36 millimeter watches with sapphire crystals and screw down crowns and 100 meters of water resistance. And this design is a very simple, minimalist design that is very popular right now. And so I do think for some people, it is going to be worth it at that price. If you saw this review and you liked the design of this watch, if you resonated with the character of the company behind it, if this is the kind of thing that you're looking for, if it's the style that you're looking for, and you have like $250 to spare to spend on this watch, I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you actually buy it. Again, the watch is pretty well put together, pretty well designed, and it is a nice package that they've got. So links to Allay's website down below, along with that 20% off discount code. You guys can check them out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.